how do we know that thing about? I don't even remember what you said now. The demonic realm. What is it? It came from smoke and fires. How do we know that?
Smokeless flames.
Smokeless flames. How do we know that?
This is the description, at least in the Islamic tradition, of that species. We know a lot about them from the Christian and Judaic tradition. A lot of that overlaps also. But a lot of this was also given to the Prophet Muhammad. Now, some would say this relates to the fallen angels of the Christian perspective, but no, they asked God a question and then he gave them their own test. But angels cannot commit evil. They were sent by God to test humanity. Meaning, during the time of Babylon, these two angels were like, hey, we'll teach you black magic, but it's going to cost you your soul. Okay?
But it says the angelic pair is exemplary for angels in an Islamic tradition to be tested and potentially fail. Meaning you're saying they're doing the testing versus like they
were sent by God to test us. Meaning they were sent down during the time of Babylon, okay? Solomon too, to teach us, if we want to, at the cost of our own soul, how to perform black magic. One of the things black magic can do is separate man from wife. Put a spell, 100%. The evil eye. These things are real, brother. I know people...
What's the evil eye?
We'll get that, but this is too much for one. I think we need to do a mini-series.
All right, it's okay.
Because each subject in itself... each subject in itself is 1 to 2 hours. Literally, at least.
I believe you, Beck.
The bottom line here is, and if you scroll down, right there, Solomon. Read that. This is in the Quran.
You want me to read this? You want me to read this verse?
We're going to talk about Solomon. Yeah, it's very important to everything we're talking about.
Solomon, this is in the Quran. The two angels are briefly mentioned as follows. Solomon did not disbelieve, but the Satans disbelieved, teaching people sorcery and that which was sent down to the two angels at Babylon, Harut and Marut. But they would not teach anyone until they had said, we are only a trial, so do not disbelieve.
We're only a test.
Then they would learn from them that by which they could cause separation between a man and and his wife. But they did not harm anyone with it, save by God's leave.
Permission.
Okay. And they would learn that which harmed them and brought them no benefit, knowing that whoever so purchases, it has no share in the hereafter.
They go to hell forever.
Yeah. Evil is that for which they sold their souls had they but known. Wow.
So in essence, and this is very similar in the Christian and Jewish perspective, during the time of Solomon, there was a lot of black magic going on.
Yeah.
Okay? And you could sell your soul and gain knowledge that you wouldn't have had. You would have some power on earth, but you lost the hereafter.
So it would give you something, you're saying.
It would give you knowledge that you wouldn't have.
Wow.
This is not as important, in my opinion, as what I think is actually happening. The demonic realm. Okay, this is separate. These were two angels that were sent down to test humanity.
Yeah.
There's also collaborating with the demonic realm, which is what black magic is.
Right.
Selling your soul, defiling, sex magic, which was performed by people like Aleister Crowley, Jack Parsons.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the reason we went to space, bro. Okay, satellites. Why they're up in the air is a man named Jack Parsons. Student of who? Aleister Crowley. What was Aleister Crowley doing? Black magic, in his own words. What did he paint a drawing of? What looks like a gray alien today if you pop the picture up, and we'll get it. This is too much.
It's all right. It's all right. Just stay on track.
Okay?
Stay on track.
Look at that picture, man.
This is who Aleister Crowley.
Show them who Aleister Crowley is.
All right, let's pull up Aleister Crowley's Wikipedia so that we can get some background here. And before I read this, though, real quick, let me ask you a hypothetical. It's a little bit loaded, but is it possible that evil people who, let's define this as evil hypothetically for a second, doing evil things, black
Sinister
sex
stuff,
magic,
agenda, whatever,
do those things, and they're not good people, and whatever's going to happen to them in the afterlife, that's up to someone else, right? But they also at the same time sometimes could end up being someone who's like extremely smart and leave some net good creations for humanity. Is that possible in your book?
I always believe there's duality to everything.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I can use this phone for good or bad.
Right.
I can use it to wink one out, destroy my soul, or use it to seek knowledge.
Yeah.
Google things, read history, try to put missing pieces of things together, or learn a trade, or watch a seminar, or
free will.
Sometimes some of these things, music came from the demonic realm. Okay?
Music came from the demonic
realm. The devil
realm.
was one of the chief culprits of that.
What?
Satan himself. And you mentioned, see, even Muslims use the word Satan. It comes from the word shaitan.
All right, we're going to come back to Aleister Crowley. What do you mean the devil created music. I fucking love
He
music.
brought music on the earth.
But it's a beautiful thing.
It doesn't mean it's all bad either, but I got to explain to you. So
Okay.
this is what I was trying to get to an hour ago, and we keep going off tangents. I hope the audience can keep up, and
I hope they can too.
I hope
but
they don't.
You're like a freight train, bro.
It's
Gotta let you roll.
There's so many moving pieces to this.
I
This
know.
is a very broad topic with a lot of very important things.
Yep.
To kind of gather it all back in. When God created Adam, before he even created him, the devil, Satan as he's known, A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim, the enemy of humanity, okay? This species lived on Earth long before humanity, okay? Before the first human being ever existed, before ancient Sumeria, before any of this stuff, Billy, Carson, God had other creations on this earth. But now what's interesting to me is that from the from the Abrahamic perspectives, like, why was it always the earth being used as like this kind of like testing ground? There's so many other planets, right? Why, for some reason, he created that species? They were on here before us, long before us. The demonic realm. Now, remember, English does not serve the description of what these beings are. It doesn't translate well into English. Because we think demon, they're only evil. That's it.
Yeah.
Christianity tries to make up for describing them by saying, no, they're not all evil, they're fallen angels. But that's inaccurate. And I'll tell you why I think it's inaccurate. So I explained earlier, angels are creations of light that have no free will. Even those two angels, they couldn't do what they wanted to do. God made them go and test people if they want to learn black magic. They didn't say, hey, God, I'm going down to earth and I'm going to... No, he said, okay, you want to see how human beings are? Go down there, test them. They didn't get to do it on their own initiative. They made the choice that he allowed them to make. But there was no free will for them. They can only do what God commands them to do. The demonic realm was created from a smokeless fire. Some of the scholars think maybe some type of electrical current. We don't really know. We know that they're made from a smokeless flame, and we know human beings, based on the Abrahamic faith, were created from all the different soils of the earth.
How do we know they're made from a
The
smokeless
sand,
flame? No,
the
no,
dark
not
earth.
that. Not that.
But look at the races.
The demonic realm.
Look at their skin colors.
Hold on, back
They
up.
literally look like the colors of
Back,
the earth.
Back
Good.
up. Back up. You got. If you're not gonna wear the headphones, if I gotta stop you for something, you gotta take my cues there.
Good.
All right. How do we know that thing about? I don't even remember what you said now. The demonic realm. What is it? It came from smoke and fires. How do we know that?
Smokeless flames.
Smokeless flames. How do we know that?
This is the description, at least in the Islamic tradition, of that species. We know a lot about them from the Christian and Judaic tradition. A lot of that overlaps also. But a lot of this was also given to the Prophet Muhammad also. More intense descriptions of what these beings actually are. What I believe is going on right now is nothing more than a New Age movement of the New Age to convince humanity they were created by aliens and not God. Their only goal is to lead us astray, period. Whether you're Christian, Jew, or Muslim, we all believe the same story. God created Adam and Eve. They were in heaven. But before he even made them, the devil lived amongst the angels. Now, the Christians say he was an angel and he fell. No, that's inaccurate. He was of the demonic realm. He lived on this earth. They're known as the jinn in the Arabic language.
Yeah.
The jinn are a species created from a smokeless flame. Could be an electrical current. We don't know exactly.
But this is based on oral testimony?
This is even explained in the Quran. It also says
so it's
a
based
smokeless flame.
It's based on oral testimony.
It's in the books, and it's also in the hadith,
Okay.
which are the recorded sayings of the Prophet, but not all hadith are authentic. Because anyone that said they thought they heard the Prophet speak, they recorded it. Doesn't mean it's accurate. Okay? And to answer your thing about the whole marriage thing, but I don't want to go off into it, they never celebrated birthdays in the Arab culture. Okay? They never had every year, let's celebrate our birthday. They weren't a writing people. They were an oral people before Islam. That's when they started keeping calendars and records and all that. This is all historical fact. But getting back to the point, this demonic realm, known as the jinn, lived on earth long before humanity. And there was another species even before them, but we know nothing about them. We don't know anything about them. So as far as the Islamic perspective is concerned, there was 2 other creations on earth long before humanity. 2 other species. Okay? They, like human beings, were not the first ones with free will. The demonic realm has free will. They're not all evil, because that word demon makes you think evil.
Yeah.
There's good ones, there's bad ones. They have cities, they've had wars, they've had conflicts.
There's good demons?
But see, the English language doesn't do them justice. The jinn, let's just call it the jinn.
Okay.
The species of the devil, they have free will. There's ones that believe in God and stay true to him, and there's ones that are aligned only with Satan. The devil, Satan, Iblis is his name in Arabic. Shaitan is how Arabs would call him. Okay? The shayateen are the bad of that species that are aligned with the devil. Okay? He was the best of them. So in this civilization that's parallel to ours, they're on Earth in a parallel dimension to ours. Okay? Interdimensional shit, bro. But it's not alien. It's literally spiritual.
So are you saying that, like, hypothetically here, maybe I'm taking this too far.
Do as far as you want.
But that they may walk among us?
They walk and fly amongst us.
Meaning like they could literally be a person.
They could literally be in that fucking globe right there, in your statue, if they want to possess the object.
Right,
yes.
Or they could be a guy sitting right there.
They can be in this room right now. They can flow through us like the blood in our veins.
Are the demons in the room with us?
Oh man,
got to feel it out.
Let me explain to you now. And there's a guy watching this right now, Danny Hoyos.
Danny Hoyos.
Remember how your TV exploded that day, Danny?
Who's Danny Hoyos?
He knows. I was teaching him about the jinn. He was getting closer to believing in God. His TV exploded right in front of us. I swear.
It exploded.
I shit you not. I shit you not. I've seen people start fist fighting because it's when you go towards God that they attack. When you're lost, they don't waste their time on you. They got you. But we're going out of order here, Julian. This is a complicated subject.
Well, bring us in order, Beck.
I'm not doing the audience justice, man.
All right. Do you want to go this Aleister Crowley stuff?
We're gonna get there in a second, but let's finish what we started 3 hours ago. The story of creation.
Yeah.
That species lived on Earth long before us. You understand? Mm-hmm. They had free will. There's good ones, bad ones. There's all different types, and they're not like human beings. They have different capabilities than we do. They have longer lifespans than we do. Okay? We don't know how long they live, but they live much longer than us. They can fly. They can travel faster than the blink of an eye. They can transport material objects in the blink of an eye. And they follow us throughout our lives. Okay? So, as they were corrupt on the earth, they were spilling each other's blood. Okay? If they even have blood. They were fighting each other, wars, just like human beings, but they're a different creation than us. Mm-hmm. The devil, Shaitan, Iblis, was the best of them. And because of his righteousness on earth, God raised him to the ranks of the angels. He was never an angel. He lived amongst the angels, but he was never an angel. Once God created Adam, he blew the soul into Adam's body. And then the angels asked God, this story is also in the Quran, asked God, do you create another that will shed blood on the earth? And God says, I know that which you do not know. I have a purpose for this creation. The devil was so jealous, he thought he was going to have dominion over the earth, but God awarded the dominion to Adam and his followers. Mm-hmm. He declared war on Adam. So when God created Adam, he commanded all that were present to show respect to him, like to bow. Not the way you would worship God, but to show some type of like maybe a konnichiwa, the way the Japanese do it, or some type of bowing motion to show respect to Adam. And God said, the reason you bow to him is because I gave him knowledge. Which was more because the devil's whole thing was, you made me from fire. Why should I bow to him? I'm made from fire. You made him from mud, right? And that's when this war started. This war began. You want to see an alien, look in the mirror, people. If you believe in God, you're the aliens on this earth. We were the ones cast down. The funny thing is, Bill Carson says the same thing. We're the aliens, which is crazy, right? So on that peak, okay, Bill, all right. Me and you, okay, we agree on that part. But not that we were modified by aliens. Now, this interdimensional war started in heaven. The day Adam was created was the day that the devil didn't bow. Why couldn't he bow? All the angels bowed. Why didn't the devil bow? It's not because angels have free will. The jinn, the demonic realm, they have free will. He chose not to follow God's commandment. So all the angels, they bowed to Adam. He didn't bow because he was never one of the angels.
But if there's now I'm getting a little bit meta on this, but if there's a creator above everything who's responsible for everything, then the creator himself has to be okay with the creation of the demonic realm itself, no?
He created the good and the bad.
Yeah.
Okay? And remember, he has knowledge we don't. There's a purpose for this. Is not by accident. None of this is by accident. To my understanding, he created all the souls that would ever be, and we chose whether we would be righteous or not. And we're inserted into this life based upon that decision before we even existed in this dimension. We have no recollection of what came before, because if we even saw God for 1 second, then we know heaven's real. Hell, well, if God knows everything, then why did he even create the universe? And why does he even need to let us live? Because you don't know everything. Because when you die, you will account for everything you did and the choices you made. So he can say, this is your record. This is every word you ever spoke, every decision you ever made. It's right here. Just like when you go to court in this world. We believe on the day of judgment, even your hands will speak against you. Your hands are literally going to talk. He made me do this. Your hands, your feet, everywhere you visited, they're going to testify against you.
So like God's social credit system?
Okay? Basically. And what's funny is people go, well, how's your hand going to talk? Well, isn't it talking now, son? When you leave that fingerprint behind, guess what? That hand's testifying against you in court in this dimension, in this life. Your head, one piece of hair is testifying that you committed that act.
Right.
Your foot mark is already in this world that happens. Is that far-fetched to believe that in the next life, your own hand will testify against you?
No.
Again, from the religious perspective. Now, the war started in heaven. And when the devil disobeyed God's command, he said, you think they're so good? I'm going to show you how good they are. Just grant me until their time's over, and I'll show you just how many of them are ungrateful. God said, okay, and whoever follows you, may they be damned with you. And he said, I will attack. The devil said this. I will attack them from the front and from the back and from the left and from the right, meaning he's going to come at us in every single way imaginable to lead us astray, to make us forget God, to make us ungrateful.
What does he get out of that?
He takes as many of us with him as he can, and he's doing a phenomenal job. And let me tell you something else. When he came back to earth, remember, they were on this earth before us, long before we even had a single person on the earth. It was just Adam and Eve. There was no one else in the beginning, okay? Long before human cities existed, the jinn had cities. One of my theories is maybe the demonic realm built some of these monuments that we can't explain how they were built. And once God sent them both back down to the earth, he locked the demonic dimension into a different dimension on this planet. That's one of my theories I've just thought of in the last couple of years. That maybe the Great Pyramids were already built by the jinn, by the demonic realm. Much of the ancient Egyptian gods that they were worshiping were nothing more than demonic manifestations. The reason all these hieroglyphics are the same is because once the devil was able to convince one civilization to go astray, why would I change my tactic? My tactic is to lead as many of you away from the belief in one God. He used the same tactics throughout time, throughout history, which is why many of these pagan gods are similar. They're not Anunnaki bullshit. These are demonic conceptions that were inspired to previous civilizations before revelation kept coming down to bring people back to the path of God. And this is their objective. And now they're in the final era.
Thank you guys for checking out this clip. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe and hit the like button on this video. It is a huge, huge help. And if you'd like to check out this clip's full podcast episode, that link is in the description below or right here. And finally, you can follow me on Instagram and X by using the links in my description below.